The sun rested low, casting warm light over the Jetavana grove, where the Buddha sat in tranquil meditation. Disciples gathered, forming a semicircle, their eyes fixed on the serene figure radiating profound peace and clarity. The warm light of the sun filtered through the dense branches above them. The soft rustling of leaves offered a comforting rhythm to the gathering. Master, what is the essence of being truly present in life? The Buddha opened his eyes, calm yet piercing, and gestured toward a lotus blooming in the nearby pond. Observe this lotus, he began. How it rises from the mud, yet remains untouched by it. Pure and radiant, she held her lifeless child in her arms, tears streaming down her face. The disciples shifted slightly, sensing the weight of the story. It embraces the now fully, untethered by the past or future. The disciples leaned closer, their faces etched with eager anticipation, seeking the wisdom concealed in the Master's analogy. The Buddha continued, life entangles us in regrets of yesterday and anxieties of tomorrow. Veiling the beauty of this moment, he plucked a leaf floating on the surface of the pond and held it up for all to see. Consider this leaf, he said, floating where the current takes it, neither resisting nor clinging to any destination. Ananda nodded thoughtfully. Master, how can we live like the leaf, carried effortlessly by the flow of life? The Buddha smiled gently, by recognizing that resistance amplifies suffering, while acceptance opens the path to true peace and presence. He dipped the leaf into the water again, letting it drift away with the stream, becoming one with its flow. A young monk, Sariputta, raised his hand, seeking the Buddha's attention. Master, what if the mind resists this acceptance? The Buddha turned to Sariputta, his gaze compassionate yet unwavering. Resistance arises from attachment, the root of all suffering. Release it, and freedom follows. He pointed to a bird soaring above. Does the bird resist the wind, or does it use it to glide effortlessly? The disciples murmured, contemplating the depth of these words as their gazes followed the bird disappearing into the horizon. The Buddha folded his hands in his lap, signaling a pause before continuing his profound teaching to deepen their reflection. Understand this, he said. Presence is not the absence of thought but awareness of thought without identification with it. He gestured to a tree nearby. The tree sways in the wind yet remains rooted. Let presence be your anchor. Each household recounted its grief, shattering her belief that she alone bore the burden of suffering. Buddha continued. Finally, Kisa Gautami returned to me, her spirit transformed by the wisdom she had gained, he said. It is a bridge to this moment, unchanging amidst change. He led the disciples in a brief exercise, guiding their attention inward to the rhythm of their own breathing. As they followed, a palpable stillness enveloped the gathering, a collective realization dawning on their connected yet individual journeys. The Buddha broke the silence. Do you see? The breath anchors you, revealing the now, untouched by external disturbances. A disciple named Megha exclaimed, Master, this clarity feels fleeting. How can one sustain it amidst the chaos of daily life? The Buddha turned to Megha with a knowing smile. Clarity arises naturally when one cultivates mindfulness. Step by step, without judgment, he lifted his hand, tracing a circle in the air. Think of mindfulness as a lamp, illuminating one step at a time. The disciples meditated on the teachings, their minds weaving the tale of Kisa Gautami into the fabric of their own understanding. The gentle rustle of the leaves and the rhythmic chirping of crickets formed a harmonious backdrop. Presence is not a destination, it is the journey itself. Every step, every breath, he concluded with a final thought. Friends, let this moment be your teacher. The now is ever present, awaiting your awareness. The disciples sat in silent contemplation as the sun set, its golden light reflecting in the still waters of the pond. The disciples listened, their breaths synchronized with the steady cadence of his words. Let go of attachments, and the grip of suffering will loosen, Buddha said. Another day, the Buddha wandered with his disciples to a quiet stream, its gentle murmurs inviting contemplation and stillness. The stream flowed steadily, reflecting the sky and trees, carrying fallen leaves in its current, embodying life's unceasing rhythm. The gathering dispersed slowly, each disciple carrying the light of wisdom back to their lives. The night sky embraced the earth, a tapestry of stars reflecting the infinite possibilities of enlightenment. The Buddha spoke, his voice a melody of calm and clarity. Friends, observe this stream as it journeys onward without resistance. He reached out, scooped water in his hand, and let it slip through his fingers, joining the flow below. This water teaches us about presence, he continued. It flows naturally, unburdened by its past or anxious for its future. Rahula, the young monk, asked, Master, my thoughts race like wild horses. How can I find peace within their turbulence? The Buddha smiled gently and pointed to a fallen leaf drifting effortlessly along the stream. Rahula, he said, do not fight your thoughts. Instead, let them pass through your awareness. Like this leaf floating onward. The disciples watched the leaf carried by the current, its journey a metaphor for surrender and acceptance. The Buddha spoke again, his tone deep with insight. Presence is not suppression of thought but the freedom to observe without attachment. The stream continued its gentle flow, its soothing sound enveloping the disciples, guiding them into quiet reflection. The Buddha gestured to the reflection of clouds moving across the stream's surface. One day, our paths crossed as I journeyed through the forest where he dwelled, Buddha recounted. He emerged from the trees, his presence intimidating, his actions shaped by ignorance, he said. Begin by watching the breath. It is your anchor, steady and ever-present amidst life's turbulence. He led the disciples in a breathing exercise, inviting them to follow the rhythm of their inhale and exhale with awareness. As they breathed, the world faded into quietude, and the presence of the stream mirrored the presence within their minds. The Buddha broke the silence. Each breath guides you back to this moment, where life unfolds in its fullness and simplicity. A disciple named Kema exclaimed, Master, but presence feels fleeting. A moment here, gone in the next. How can we sustain it? The Buddha gazed at Kema with understanding. Sustaining presence is not grasping it tightly, but welcoming it as an eternal dance of now. He dipped his hand into the stream, letting water trail off as he raised it. The stream flows, yet remains whole. Disciples contemplated this teaching, their minds weaving metaphors and truths into their inner landscapes of understanding. The Buddha sat still, his silence as profound as his words, allowing his disciples time to absorb the depth of his teachings. Megha, another monk, asked, Master, what if life's chaos overshadows the stream's stillness? How can one find presence in the noise? The Buddha lifted his gaze. Stillness does not mean absence of noise. It is the peace that remains within, unshaken. He stood and gestured to the horizon. Even in chaos, the horizon remains steady, guiding the stream toward its destination. Disciples nodded, their thoughts echoing the wisdom in their hearts, each finding connections between life's flow and the stream's path. The Buddha's voice softened as he concluded. Too tight, and it snaps. Too loose, and it falters. To find balance is to find harmony. The day ended, but the stream's teachings remained. The Buddha's words continued to ripple through their minds like water finding its way. The disciples left the bank, holding the Buddha's lessons close, their hearts and minds anchored in the stream of presence. Another day, under a vast canopy of stars, the Buddha sat amidst his disciples, holding a lamp that flickered in the night. The flame danced gently, illuminating the darkness while casting long shadows. Its light captivating the attention of every disciple gathered around. The Buddha's gaze remained fixed on the flame, its movement a silent yet profound metaphor for life's fleeting and luminous nature. "Friends," he began, his voice steady and warm. "Observe this flame, how it sways yet retains its light despite the wind." He placed the lamp on a rock before him, allowing the wind to tease its flickering glow without extinguishing its radiance. "Life is impermanent. Like this flame," the Buddha continued. "Presence lies in embracing this truth rather than resisting the flow of change." He turned to the gathered disciples and spoke. "The middle way avoids the trap of excess and deficiency, leading to equanimity." Buddha continued. "Those who cling to material wealth suffer from overindulgence. Kema, the flame does not resist the wind. It dances with it, unshaken." He lifted his hand, mimicking the movement of the flame. "Let awareness be like this. Fluid, resilient, anchored in the now." The disciples murmured softly, their minds weaving connections between the flame's persistence and their own struggles with life's turbulence. The Buddha spoke again. "Presence is the light within, steady even amidst the strongest winds of desire, fear, or distraction." He pointed to the sky above. "Do you see the stars? Their light remains constant, guiding travelers even through the darkest nights." Ananda asked, "Master, what if the light within wavers or dims under the weight of suffering and emotional turmoil?" The Buddha's gaze softened. "Ananda, the flame needs oil to burn. Similarly, presence requires mindfulness to sustain its steady glow." He extended his hands toward the disciples. "Mindfulness is the oil that nurtures awareness, keeping the flame of presence unwavering." The Buddha paused, allowing the disciples to absorb this metaphor, their hearts resonating with its simplicity and depth. Megha, another disciple, spoke. "Master, this flame dances beautifully, yet it seems fragile. How can we protect presence in times of hardship?" The Buddha replied, his tone serene. "Megha, protection lies in acceptance, not avoidance. The flame endures because it embraces both wind and stillness." He lifted the lamp and shielded it, briefly with his robe, illustrating how presence can remain despite external disturbances. "The robe shields the flame temporarily," he said, "but true resilience comes from within, from unwavering awareness of impermanence." The disciples watched intently, their understanding deepening with each gesture and word the Buddha shared. The flame's light reflected in their eyes, sparking a quiet determination to embody the teachings they received that night. The Buddha resumed, "Friends, presence is a practice, a dance with impermanence, an anchor in change, a light guiding us home." He stood and walked slowly, holding the lamp, its glow illuminating his path as shadows followed his every step. "Let this flame remind you," he said, "that life's impermanence is not to be feared but embraced with graceful awareness." Kassapa asked, "Master, how can we cultivate such awareness when the world around us is filled with distractions and desires?" The Buddha stopped, turning to the disciples. "Begin by focusing on the breath. It brings you back to this flame, this moment." He guided them in a brief exercise, aligning their breaths with the steady flicker of the flame before them. As their breathing steadied, a profound stillness enveloped the group, mirroring the lamp's unwavering light amidst the night's breeze. The Buddha spoke once more, his voice steady and luminous. "Each breath nurtures presence, connecting you to this flame and the truth within." The disciples sat in silence, their hearts absorbing the wisdom that transcended the words spoken by their enlightened teacher. The stars above continued their quiet vigil, witnessing the unfolding of understanding within each disciple's soul. The Buddha extinguished the lamp with a soft breath, its smoke rising like a whisper of impermanence into the starlit sky. "Let this extinguishing remind you," he concluded, That presence remains even as the flame fades. Awareness transcends its physical form. The disciples bowed deeply, their gratitude unspoken yet radiating through the quiet reverence of the moment. They rose and dispersed, each carrying the Buddha's teachings within, their hearts aflame with the light of presence. The grove returned to silence, the stars unchanged, and the Buddha sat alone, his serenity reflecting the truth he had shared. Straining with every ounce of his strength, he brought her safely to the shore. Exhausted yet relieved, Rajan cradled the child as she wept softly, her gratitude shining in her tearful eyes. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.